So at 8:32, we're going to welcome in a great guest who I've come to know over the last couple of years here through the Rural Development Initiative, Gary Stewart. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning.
So Gary's just fresh off the heels of the old Skookum Rotary meetings, right?
Yeah, we had a chance to go to Rotary this morning. I'm a Rotarian from Oregon, and it was my third time up here visiting the club. It was good to see friends from both the leadership program as well as from Rotary.
That's a tight-knit group, Rotary is.
I wouldn't call them just tight-knit. They're all embracing. So, but a great group that's well engaged in the community in Shelton and Mason County. And we had somebody from the North Mason Rotary that was there as well, talking about the Taste of Hood Canal.
Yeah, that's coming
which is an event that's coming up that Rotary Club is involved in. So it's just great to see so much activity going on in the county.
Rural Development Initiative is a kind of multi-state thing that's been happening, started down in Oregon, been going on there, where it keys in on rural communities and is able to focus in on leaders in said community and works closely with them on training, leadership skills, and then working together for a different project. I was mentioning before the break that I was part of the first cohort. So this was 2 Oyster Fests ago. I was walking around. I ran into Jim Morrell from the credit union, Peninsula Credit Union. He goes, "Jeff, there's this thing coming, and I think you would be good for it. Here's some more information," and this, that, and the other. So I signed up along with 38 other community leaders here, not only in Mason, Shelton, South Mason, but then North Mason, Belfair, and beyond. And so we gathered 4 or 5 times over the course of 4 or 5 months, came up with the idea for the Buddy Bench. It was Bradley Miller's idea. He brought it, well, it's his wife's idea, but he brought it to the group, and we all voted on it and went forward from there. And now you can see those in all the elementary schools around the county. And kind of told that story a little bit there. Fast forward now, the second cohort's getting ready for their project, which is a treasure hunt. And the third cohort will be here before you know it. So tell folks who are listening a little bit more about RDI and the reasons for something important like this in a community like ours.
So RDI is a nonprofit that has been around we're entering our 27th year working in the Northwest in rural communities. And we started because of a friendly bird called the spotted owl, in that there were many communities that overnight, because of the owl in the 1990s, they lost their mill, they lost their employment base, they lost a lot of hope in some communities. And so we started as an organization to go in and help communities figure out what are the assets that you have remaining that you can build on to create a new future for yourself. And out of that, developed this leadership program that we've been doing now for almost 20 years of helping folks have their own capacity so that they can take care of themselves rather than constantly looking outside saying, hey, we need help, we need help. When in reality, the foundation for that help already exists right there in the community.
One of the things that you notice is that as our group was forming, lots of us already knew each other, but not to the kind of results that we had by the end. And still, I run into folks every day who were part of our group or part of this new group or have been identified as potential for the third group, and a lot of great sponsors that have helped support and bring this for the 3 years initially. And that was something new that you were telling us. Usually it's a 1 year to 1 year, but a lot of great organizations said, let's do this, start off with a 3-year investment in our community.
Yes, because as you've already witnessed, and Caleb is taking advantage of it right now, by having multiple groups, not only does the group come together, but then you can start building relationships between groups, and all of a sudden you have enough capacity to reach what they call the tipping point of really making a difference going forward in the community. And if we came in to do just a one and done, it's like, okay, you've been inoculated. that isn't necessarily the way that's going to have the long-lasting impact for the community. So it's kind of like having 3 booster shots, if you will, so that the community is really working together.
We met yesterday at the Pershing Room at Mason General Hospital with the first and second cohorts and identified some community leaders. So folks out there, be not surprised if soon somebody that you know comes to you and says, listen, we think that you are well poised in our community to take part of this. And what would you encourage them? I mean,
well, and the other thing that I would mention is you describe them as community leaders, and they may not see themselves as community leaders. They may just see themselves as community members who want to be involved, or we've identified them as this is somebody who we would like to bring in and have them connect with other folks. Mm-hmm. So there may be some emerging leaders that come out of that process that they just thought they were just a regular community member just doing some things, but they're really then able to make connections and actually take on a higher role within their organization, within the county, within the community.
Yeah, you do learn some great skills throughout. We did kind of, the Myers-Briggs thing, did the personality profiles. You do a little conflict resolution here and there. You do fund development and how to make the asks and things like that, which each of these programs over the weekends had certain things that everybody could take away from and really pushed folks to their boundaries in certain aspects to grow as a person. If you were an extrovert, perhaps you were tasked with doing things that maybe an introvert would do, and vice versa, things like that. So it was really fulfilling, and like you mentioned, kind of a booster shot thing. I've run into folks in the second cohort who they say, oh yeah, you were in the first one, and then we strike up a conversation and build that connection and build that bridge there. So it's coming down the pike here before too long. People will be out in the community receiving these invitations to be a part of this, and I would say you go for it.
And I would also suggest that if this sounds like something you would be interested in, to be able to reach out and say, hey, I would be interested in this as well. There may be some other people who haven't been identified yet, and we're happy to get information to them as well.
So you can go to the RDI website. It's rdiinc.org. We'll put the links when we post this interview here. You can also get on Facebook and the like. But you have seen it around the communities, and we'll see it this upcoming September with the treasure hunt to focus on the great things going on in Mason County. Gary, it's good to see you. I was happy to get that email from you that you were going to be in town.
Great to see you, Jeff. Thanks so much.